Hello, welcome to Geojit Spotlight. This video is about investment strategy, about a successful investment strategy. It is called buy on bad news. Not buy on good news, buy on bad news. The essence of this strategy is that the best time to buy a stock or to invest in the market is when the news is bad. When the news is bad, the bad news will be in the price and stocks will be available at attractive rates. And if stocks are bought at attractive rates, and if the investor waits patiently, when the bull market happens, well, there will be substantial appreciation in the investment made. That is why buy on bad news is regarded as a very sound investment strategy. If we examine the history of the stock market, we will know that many successful investors, legendary investors like Warren Buffett, used this strategy of buy on bad news. They buy when the markets are very low and wait patiently. It is very important to understand that big money is made when you buy in a bear market and wait patiently. Even when you buy in a bull market, you can make money, you'll get a decent returns, but big money, huge wealth is created when you invest in a bear market and then wait patiently for the bull market to come. And when that happens, there can be substantial wealth creation. Let us take the recent example in India. After 2000, I am not going to 1990s, the Harshad Mehta scam, the crash in the market and all that, only post 2000. In the year 2000, there was a major crash in the market. That is a global crash. It is important to understand that stock markets are highly correlated, and if there is a crash in the mother market US, it spreads all over the world. In the year 2000, there was a big market crash. It is known as the tech bubble burst. There was a tech bubble in the US, the Nasdaq market. Finally, it burst and there was a major crash. In India, the Sensex, which was around 6,000 in 2000, crashed to below 3,000. It was more than 50% from the peak to the trough. And it remained below 3,000 for many months, more than a year, it remained below 3,000. For those investors who bought at around 3,000 levels, what is the situation now? In the last 22 years, the Sensex has rallied from 3,000 to 69,000 now. So 23 times wealth creation in 22 years. The numbers are important. The market multiplied 23 times in 22 years. So that was a great buying opportunity, buying on bad news. Then we had the global financial crisis of 2008, one of the worst crashes in stock market history. Again, the market corrected by more than 50%. It was close to 55%. Sensex was about 20,000 in January 2008. Then it crashed. And in the trough in 2003, 2009 March, a year after the crash, the Sensex was below 9,000. So it was more than 50% crash. That was also a big buying opportunity. And now recently we know, after the COVID outbreak, the market crashed. That was a very short and swift crash. More than 40% crash in a few weeks. The Nifty crashed to 7,511 on 23rd March 2000. And what is the level of the Nifty now? It is above 20,500. So all these crashes in the market, crashes triggered by bad news, were great buying opportunities. Investment legends like Warren Buffett always bought in such bad news corrections in the market. There's a famous quote of Warren Buffett. He said, and I quote, "Market crashes, buying opportunities, do not come frequently. But when it rains gold, we go out in buckets, not in thimble." Thimble is the cap that you put on your finger when ladies stitch, right? Very small thing. So when it rains gold, and that is not very frequent, it comes very, very infrequently. When it rains gold, we go out with buckets. That is what Warren Buffett said. So such opportunities are great buying opportunities. Now this buy on bad news is applicable in the case of stocks also. Sometimes high quality stocks correct because of some reason, some temporary reason. It may not impact the profitability of the company in the long run, but because of the temporary bad news, the stock might correct. There are plenty of examples. I will give you a classic example. In the year 2015, there was a scandal regarding the company Nestle. A food inspector published a report saying that the dose of glutamine in foods in Nestle's 2-minute noodles, Maggi noodles, is very high. Now the press made a big scandal out of that. There was news saying that the company should compensate all the consumers. So the stock price crashed. Nestle's stock price crashed to less than 6,000 rupees. That was in 2015. But that was a temporary issue. That was not a serious allegation at all, because Nestle was exporting the same 2-minute noodles to London and to Singapore from the same factory, and they had no problems there. So it was just a scandal, and that scandal led to the correction in the price to less than 6,000. Now what is the price of Nestle? After 8 years, what is the price of Nestle? It is more than 24,000. So that means in 8 years, the stock multiplied 4 times. So those who bought on bad news at 6,000 laughed all the way to the bank with 400% appreciation in the stock price. There are many other examples like this. So buy on bad news is a very good investment strategy. There are 2 strong emotions in the market: greed and fear. These are normal emotions. When there is bad news, when there is panic, when there is fear, the market crashes. That will be a great time to buy. I repeat this point, you should be buying, if you are buying a company, you should be buying high quality companies, not inferior quality companies. Inferior quality companies, the price declines by 50% and you buy, it can decline by another 40%. There are many companies which have declined by 90%, 99%, going bankrupt. So buy on bad news. If you are applying to a particular company, you should be applying this strategy in the case of high quality companies which are going through a temporary bad news, which will be over in the medium to long run. So when the time is favorable, when there are opportunities, use this opportunity, use the strategy of buy on bad news, which can lead to substantial wealth creation for those investors who have patience to wait. Thank you and best wishes.